Get jacked.
So you think that makes him faster?
The piss test.
That's a good question.
You think it makes him faster?
That's a good question.
Piss test, how dare you?
But B, I'm not
I don't
sure.
think he's doing anything, but he might be.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Looks
though,
good.
B, that his
Look at that. Come on,
skill is-
son. Look at that.
Yeah.
Callan's jerking off to this later.
I am.
100%.
I have a boner that could cut glass right now.
There's a
Holy shit.
photo on one of the websites that shows him at when he was fighting at 47, ripped versus him fighting now at 68, ripped, and he definitely looked.
Joe Rogan stunned fans when he highlighted just how bold and downright risky Terence Crawford's leap in weight truly is. Watch till the end for the full breakdown, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Do you think Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez?
Yeah, I think he can win.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to win, but I think he can win.
So
but
I
he's
asked-
going to have to box a brilliant fight.
Joe Rogan made it clear that Terence Crawford isn't just making a routine move up the ladder, he's leaping from 147 all the way to 168 pounds, a jump so massive most fighters wouldn't even dare to consider it. What impressed Rogan most was that Crawford didn't take shortcuts, he's added real muscle, trained the right way, and prepared his body for the climb. But even with Crawford's razor-sharp skills, Rogan couldn't downplay the danger. At 168, he'll be staring down Canelo Alvarez, a seasoned powerhouse who's ruled the super middleweight division for years and has proven almost impossible to hurt.
What about
Get away.
Crawford and Canelo?
What do you think of that?
Personally, I'm a big Crawford fan, so I'm going to lean his way. My only concern is just the size. Like, it didn't look like Terence's power transferred in the last fight, so now it's up some more. You know what I mean?
Part of the problem with that is Alvarez really good.
Yeah, I mean, but I just think Crawford is. That's weird to say against Canelo, but I think he's the better boxer, and I think he's the guy who can make the better in-fight adjustments if Canelo next killed.
Gonna be interesting, tell you that.
What do you think?
I don't know. You know, it's a big jump. Go from 54, which was step up for 47, right? So it goes to 54, and now they're going to 58. That's so much.
Rogan highlighted Canelo's danger, recalling how he broke Billy Joe Saunders' face and noting he's never been knocked down. With John Rollo beside him, Rogan admitted that while Crawford is special, the size gap makes this fight a razor-thin toss-up.
Just power, and Canelo is a guy that has power but is constantly working on. There's a great clip of him working with Andy Ruiz. You know that shield, that weird hand shield they hold up for hooks.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not for speed. This is just power. Just power. He's like, don't try to be fast with this. Use power. And you see him down there, bro. He hits so.
Crawford's climb through boxing's ranks has been nothing short of extraordinary, but his upcoming clash has the entire fight world buzzing with opinions. One voice that carries real weight is former amateur rival Ray Robinson, a man who knows just how tough Crawford is. Back in 2005, Robinson faced him in the U.S. Championship quarterfinals and became one of the very few fighters ever to hand Crawford a loss. Across 111 total bouts, amateur and pro combined, Crawford has suffered only 12 defeats, and Robinson is among the rare few who never had to give that win back. Looking ahead to this showdown, Robinson couldn't hide his respect for Crawford's brilliance, praising his uncanny ability to adapt and find ways to win. He believes that if the fight goes the distance, Crawford has the tools to outpoint Canelo. But he also warned that if Alvarez lands clean, the tide could turn in an instant and Crawford's greatest test could become his most punishing night.
It's kind of hard to go against Crawford because how good he is and how he figure out ways how to win. You know what I mean? So you can't take nothing from him, and you can't blame him trying to be great. I understand that, but it's gonna be a good fight.
Are you leaning towards him? Do you feel like you're not sure at this stage?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I look at it as if it go to distance, I think Crawford will win, but if Canelo touch him, it might be a little different. But honestly, I don't know. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight, and I think it's more of the fans win. You know what I mean? It's two great fighters fighting each other at their best. So it's definitely going to be an amazing fight, and I think the fans win more than.
George Kambosos Jr. knows a thing or two about shocking the world, and he sees shades of that in what Crawford is attempting against Canelo. Kambosos pointed out that Alvarez struggled to cut off the ring in his last fight with William Skull, a performance that sparked questions about whether Canelo might be slowing down. But at the same time, he issued a warning: when a fighter of Canelo's caliber steps under the bright lights, he almost always finds another gear.
Such dynamic, boxing attributes. And like I said, Canelo has to press Crawford. He has to be able to use his size, bully him, and able to land them shots that are going to hurt him and put him in 2 frames of mind. Now Crawford, on the other hand, as much as the size difference doesn't really look like there is a size difference, there is a difference in the weight they've been fighting at. And like I said, Canelo's been fighting as high as light heavyweight. Crawford, in his last fight, did go up to junior middleweight against Madrimov. He did seem to struggle a little bit with a guy at a higher weight. So now you're moving up to super middleweight, will have some effect. But again, it is the biggest fight of his life, biggest fight of Canelo's life, and you're gonna truly think that they're gonna be prepared for anything. But the big thing is, will Crawford be able to dictate the fight against a guy like Canelo Alvarez, who's the bigger man, the guy who's gonna be pushing the pressure? We saw the way he dictated and hurt Errol Spence.
Heavyweight contender Bryant Jennings sees things through a very different lens. The man who once went the distance with Vladimir Klitschko in 2015 isn't buying the old saying that a good big man always beats a good little man. For Jennings, Crawford's athleticism, grit, and relentless drive are more than enough to close the size gap. Having watched smaller fighters shake up bigger opponents before, Jennings insists the weight difference won't be the deciding factor here. In fact, he's confident Crawford can handle the leap and even predicts the fight goes all the way to the scorecards, with Crawford sneaking out a razor-thin split decision. Do you agree with Jennings' bold take, or do you think Canelo's size and power will prove too much?
I'm leaning more towards Crawford as time goes on, and I guess it's just him coming from a lower weight, because it's like, me witnessing a person like Boots that's a lower weight. And it, like, a lot of times weight don't really matter, because I've seen him smash guys that are just like way bigger than him. So I'm looking at it in a sense of, I think Crawford can handle the weight difference, and he could bring the elusiveness of a lower. I mean, Canelo lower too, but Canelo fight more like a bully in a sense. He's lower too. He's good too, but he just fight more like he fight more with like more strength, overpowering. He has great technique. He's great, but I'm just looking at the athleticism and the will that Crawford always had and always brought, and I'm just thinking of that just transforming into like this weight difference. The weight difference is the only thing that we could pretty much argue about, but I think with the weight difference, with me witnessing like smaller guys really just like do damage to bigger guys, it's like, what, that kind of really don't matter in a sense. It's as long as you're good on your game, you're good on your feet, and you can duck and block